Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the Series anime video. In this video I want to talk about Sobble, who will be evolving very soon. Now, episode 54 was all about Sobble. In this episode, Sobble met an Intellion, and this meeting inspired Sobble, who decided to break out of its shell. Sobble decided to be more courageous. It wanted to stop being such a fearful and shy Pokemon. Sobble wanted to become as brave and as strong as Intellion. Going into episode 54, I believe that Sobble could evolve in this episode, given that evolution is an excellent way to get stronger, and a Pokemon's personality often changes when it evolves. So, Sobble could be braver and more powerful after its evolution, and considering that this desire for courage and strength was born from Sobble's meeting with its final evolved form, I felt that Sobble could indeed evolve in this episode. Or at the very least, this episode would plant the seed for Sobble to evolve in the future, meaning that Sobble could grow and develop a little bit in preparation for its eventual evolution. Of course, episode 54 aired several weeks ago and Sobble did not evolve. Instead, it found a way to fight that takes advantage of its shy personality, and it learned a new move in the process. By the end of the episode, Sobble was clearly more confident. It was bolder and more daring. So while Sobble did not evolve in episode 54, this episode did at least lay the foundation for said evolution to happen later, which is perfectly fine, and it was one of the things I expected from this episode. I ended my review of episode 54 by saying that Sobble will probably evolve in the future. However, I did not know when this would happen, until now that is. The title for episode 62 was revealed recently, and the latest special preview shows footage of this episode as well, and both hint at the fact that Sobble will evolve in episode 62. So, let's take a look at this new information for this upcoming episode. First, let's look at the title for episode 62, and the title is Damp Drizzile. It's a short and simple title with only 2 words, and what we can infer from it is just as simple and straightforward. Drizzile will appear in this episode, and it will be Drizzile's first appearance in the anime. Drizzile is, of course, the evolved form of Sobble, and the pre-evolution of Intellion. The other part of the title is damp, which means slightly wet, or it means there is moisture on a surface, or in the air, or on something. Damp is one way to describe a water-type Pokemon, so the title of the episode simply means that Drizzile, a water-type Pokemon, will appear. Now, the title only says that Drizzile will appear in the episode. Drizzile is again Sobble's evolved form, but the title does not say anything that would indicate that this Drizzile will be Sobble after evolving. This could just be a wild Drizzile, or it could belong to someone else. This episode could be like episode 54, where an Intellion appeared and it belonged to a trainer. So why then did I say that Sobble will evolve when the title says nothing that indicates that this will indeed happen? Well, that's where the special preview comes into play, and this is what was shown in the special preview. So here we can see that and Drizzile are together, and they make eye contact, after which Drizzile turns away from like Drizzile is ignoring who is left shocked and depressed by this rejection. Now, this technically still does not guarantee that this is Sobble after evolving. It could again very well be a wild Drizzile or a Drizzile that belongs to another trainer, but I think that it is safe to assume that this is indeed newly evolved Drizzile. Now, there really isn't much more to say about this episode since the title and the short clip from the special preview don't really reveal that much, but there is something that came to mind when I first saw this scene. I actually saw this image first before seeing the full clip in the special preview. In this image alone, I noticed that looks concerned in this image. He even has a sweat drop on his cheek, which is used in anime to denote that a character is worried, confused, in distress, frustrated, annoyed, or exhausted. In the case of here, it denotes that he is either worried or confused. So I wondered, why does look like this? Why is he concerned or bewildered? If your Pokemon just evolved, you would look happy or excited, so why does look like he just saw a ghost? two possibilities came to mind. Go seems to be looking at Drizzile here, and Drizzile is looking back at Go. They are making eye contact. So Go has this expression because of Drizzile. So perhaps Go is confused, surprised, or taken aback by Sobble's evolution. Maybe the evolution was sudden or unexpected. Or maybe it's baffling to see the previously shy and fearful Sobble suddenly become so listless. Maybe this isn't Go's Drizzile after all, like I said earlier, so a sudden Drizzile out of nowhere that is not his would leave Go with such an expression. Or it could be that Go is worried or concerned because Sobble evolves and Drizzile gives Go the cold shoulder. In this image, Drizzile has an expression that indicates that it does not care about anything anymore. So I thought that this could be another Raboot situation. Maybe Sobble will also be distant and cold after it evolves. Now, to be fair, this listless expression that Drizzile has in this image is the same expression that Drizzile has in the games. And its Pokédex entry in Pokemon Shield even says that Drizzile are very lazy Pokemon. So this expression that Drizzile has does not necessarily have to do with Go. This could just be Drizzile being itself. There is also the fact that, like I said before, Drizzile would be another Raboot. Would the same thing really happen again? With another starter Pokemon, no less. With another starter of Generation 8 at that, and it will also happen after said starter evolves once into its second evolved form. I really doubt that they would explore this same territory again, especially mirroring the previous case so perfectly, so Sobble probably won't become detached and cold after evolving. Or so I thought until I saw the actual clip in the special preview, which straight up shows that Drizzile indeed seems to not care for Go as much anymore, since it flat out looks away from Go. So I was able to discern that this would happen from just this image alone, and then I saw the special preview which confirms that I was right. Since Sobble does want to become brave and strong, it is likely that it will become said things after it evolves. And so perhaps because it becomes much stronger and more courageous, Drizzile will aim to be more independent to show that it does not need to be babied or cared for like before. And this independence means that it will be less friendly with Go. Drizzile will mature to be a lone wolf that follows its own path. I really thought that maybe I was looking too deep into the image taken from the special preview. I did not think that they would do the same thing again, but it turns out that yes, Drizzile will be another Raboot, just as I thought when I saw this image for the first time. Go is going to have to seriously consider why his starters keep growing distant from him after one evolution. Go will have to reflect on why this keeps happening to him. Maybe the starter Pokemon realized that they were caught by the wrong trainer after they evolve. But Raboot did become nicer after episode 22, and then it evolved into Cinderace in episode 45, at which point it returned to being as nice and as cheerful as it was as a Scorbunny. Now I guess that if Grookey also evolves, then we can expect it to also grow to be aloof after its evolution. But would they really do the same thing yet again for a third time? I doubt it, but we will have to wait and see. Also, I hate to sound like a broken record, but maybe Ash can get Sobble from Go after all. After Sobble evolves, of course. Sobble wants to be strong and brave, and it evolves to gain said strength and courage, so Drizzile might want to battle more now to prove that it is indeed stronger and braver. And so, a trainer that can give it that battling action would be better for Drizzile in the end. But I did say that this could happen with Raboot as well back when Scorbunny evolved, and for the same reasons too. But it never did happen, though to be fair, Raboot was and is Go's main Pokemon, while Sobble is less prevalent. So it would perhaps be more likely in this case, and Sobble could more realistically part with Go. I have been holding on to this hope that maybe Ash could still get one of the Generation 8 starters from Go, but I did give up that hope with Sobble in episode 54. However, I did have a thought recently with regards to this. I have seen a lot of comments on my videos that predicted that Ash would not catch Grookey, or they said that Ash would not get Sobble because in this series, Ash has been catching mostly previously fully evolved Pokemon, and this is because Ash is battling to essentially become the strongest trainer in the world. So he has no time to train starter Pokemon that have to evolve twice to reach their final form. Riolu and Farfetch only had to evolve once to reach their final form, which is more acceptable. This series has been giving Ash's Pokemon less screen time than past series have, so it would be hard to give the starters enough screen time to evolve twice, and so it would take too long for them to reach their final form, at which point they can realistically be used in the tough battles that Ash will have soon, since he is almost in Hyper or Ultra Ball class. So I do agree that Grookey and or Sobble would not work with Ash and his current objective. But what if they evolve under Ghost ownership and then Ash gets them after they have evolved at least once? This would work better since they would be stronger, so Ash could use them more effectively and they could grow and develop towards their final form under Ash's ownership. They only need to work towards one evolution instead of two. I could definitely see this working, and since Pokemon Journeys has been so unpredictable, maybe they had go catch all three Generation 8 starter Pokemon because they wanted to break tradition in a big way. But then they wanted to go back to the traditional way so that Ash can still get at least one of the starters of the current generation from Go after said starter has evolved at least once. So Ash can still get one starter Pokemon in this series. This would be a really interesting turn of events, but I am not going to get my hopes up given what has happened in this series thus far. Drizzile might just end up like Raboot did, meaning that it will be cold to Go for several episodes before they eventually reconcile, and so Ash won't get Drizzile in the end, just like Ash did not get Raboot either. So Ghost Sobble will evolve soon and it will become cold and distant as a Drizzile, at which point it may or may not end up with Ash, which is something that could of course happen later. Or Go will just have to find a way to get along with Drizzile once again. Meaning that Ash won't get Drizzile and this is just another trial that Go will have to overcome. Or rather, it's version 2 of the same trial Go already overcame in the past. Episode 62 will air on April 16 because the anime is unfortunately taking a 2-week break after episode 60. Once episode 62 airs, we will know for sure what happens, and as usual, I will upload a video review for it as soon as possible. The week before episode 62 airs, we will get the preview for this episode alongside episode 61. This will be on April 9. And I will make a video on the preview for episode 62 as well if it does reveal sufficient information to warrant another video on this episode. So please look forward to both videos on episode 62, but that's the end of this video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching and let's meet again in the next video.